Hey, Student Success. We are in week 3 now. So hopefully by now things are starting to fall into place. You're a little bit more comfortable, not only with maybe if you're on campus navigating around, but also our course in particular, navigating within Blackboard. So this course week runs from September 13th through the 19th. And I'm going to just real quick, as promised, plug the student services assignment. A few of you have actually already completed this. You signed up for the workshops that happened like right away during the first week of the semester. You attended them and you sent me your certificate already. So a couple of you already have it down. So as a reminder, you are signing up for a student success workshop. It is found in My Stark State. So whenever you log into My Stark State, just go through this real quickly. You're going to go to the Academic Support tab. There's the Student Success Workshops right there. Here's a list of all of those coming up. So we have, and I know my screen might be cutting off just a little bit over here, but you can see like the dates that are coming up. All of them have the register link next to them, and it takes you right into Handshake because they're all going to happen within Handshake. This is where you would go to click to register. Even if you don't have an account yet, you click login. And then up here on the top, no account, sign up here. And that's when you're going to go ahead and register. Now remember, it says .edu. You all do not have .edu. You have .net. That's okay. So you'll put in your starkstate.net email address and then go through that registration process. Right? So make sure that you do that. Or if you are interested in checking out the Student Leadership Academy, there's a link there to the Student Leadership Academy. This has registration begins September 13th. So by the time you watch this video, hopefully this information will be already uploaded in there, because those are some different kinds of workshops and opportunities that you might be more interested in potentially. So that's another plug for the workshops. Again, you have until the end of week 8, but I always like to make sure students kind of get to that so that you're taking a workshop that really does serve your own interest. All right, so we are in, as I said, we're in week 3 for this video. So I'm going to scroll down. Week 3, sorry guys, there's a lot going on in this week again. Not only are we going to talk about chapter 12, we are also going to talk about all these career services. You can see there's a list of assignments here. So I do apologize, this video will be a little lengthy. So I always kind of recommend to my students for this particular week to maybe just chunk it to, and I know I would do this if I didn't feel like it would be a little bit more cumbersome to upload like 4 different videos. So I do one video, but I recommend like maybe pausing it after I talk about chapter 12 and then coming back to it later. Or if you prefer to sit through it in one setting, that's your choice as well. But it will be a little longer because I'm going to be talking about chapter 12 and then I'm going to be walking you through all of these different assignments because I really want to make sure you are very clear on how to access and complete each of these without confusion, or cut down on the confusion as much as I can. Okay, so obviously you haven't caught on by looking at it. You'll know that this week is about career services, exploring your career, taking control of your future. So I'm going to go ahead and get to the materials folder, and I'm going to click on the chapter 12 textbook link. And there is no slideshow to go with this. So I'm just going to kind of scroll through the sections of the chapter just to talk about it real quick for a few minutes here. So chapter 12 is about taking control of your future. And this is where I'm going to really push and say again, that there are some of you in here who are still in high school. There's some of you who are fresh out of high school. You are already declared your major. And there's some of you who have been in a career path, maybe not the one that you want to be in a few years, but a career of some sort. Or maybe you are in your career path and you're just trying to get to the next level. So you all are on such different places. So please take this chapter and apply it where it's going to be helpful to you. So if there are sections of this chapter that you're like, I'm past this point or I'm not to that point yet, then hone in on what is applicable to your life. So as always, the chapter starts off with kind of like an assessment of where are you now, just making sure that you kind of take a quick check-in with yourself as it relates to your kind of career options and your understanding of them and what you know and what you might not know yet about all of these different career possibilities. And then again, another assessment on where do you want to go? What are some things you're trying to look at and accomplish both in the short term and the long term, as well as just the overview for the chapter. All right, so this is kind of, again, introducing, we're going to look here, and this is going to talk about how you can align your goals to your career. So coming down here, this is like a little exercise. And again, it's not required. A lot of these things are just kind of suggested to get to know yourself a little bit more. What are your dreams? Why are they important for you? And kind of how do they connect to your particular career path that you're going into? Okay. So once you know your goals and kind of just where you want to be, then you should start connecting it to your career exploration. So again, this is going to be geared for the people who you do not have a major declared yet. Maybe you're still in high school or you're fresh out of high school and you're just really starting to think about your options. And so this section of the chapter is going to talk about the difference between a job and a career. And that's, I think, an important conversation no matter what age you are, no matter what place in your life you are. You know, a job is just something you do. It pays your bills and it's there to help support you, but it's really not your passion or what you want to do for the rest of your life. You know, a career is building on your passion or, you know, doing something that you really feel like this is your professional path. Now, a job can turn into a career, so it's always one or the other, but there is a difference between those and definitely in the way in which you view those things. So if you are at the part of your life where you're still trying to decide what you want your career to be, this is kind of the section for you. Thinking about things like, who are you? And this goes into, if you've ever taken like these different kinds of personality assessments, kind of connecting back to that learning style survey I mentioned at the beginning of the class, talking about your ways that you are intelligent. So all of these things. And these section right here on Holland, he talks about the 6 types of personalities. And you can see there's like links here, or you can even like Google Holland's personality interest, things like that. And you can end up taking one of those, and you're actually going to take the career services version, and it relies right on the Holland's theory. So you're actually going to take that this week as part of your assignment, but you're always welcome to go and kind of do it on your own as well outside of the class, you know, in terms of in a different format, just to get to know. The more you know about yourself, the better. So this will go over like the different kinds of personalities, and you can look and see which one you think you are. And then when you take the assessment for this class, maybe did you match with what you thought? And then you're going to talk about, or read about rather, like where can you get information? So again, you know your type of personality, your interests, your abilities, your skills. Well, how do you get this kind of information about careers? This site right here, I will click on it because I really, of course, I'm just going to go directly to it. BLS.gov. I'll just go directly there. I really like this site because up here in the upper right-hand corner, let's say I wanted to go physical therapy is like my go-to example. I'm looking into physical therapy. Maybe I haven't declared my major yet, but I really am interested in this field. So I'm going to click on, maybe I want to do PTA at first. So I'm going to click there, and this is a really user-friendly, helpful site that's going to take me through like a real quick summary of what this job does. And it's going to go into more detail about what they do, their duties and responsibilities, where I could potentially work as a PTA, what I'm going to have to do to become one, like my education, the kind of trainings or certifications I need, the pay, the job outlook, meaning, am I going to have a job in the next, this is a 10-year projection, am I going to have a job in the next 10 years? You know, so kind of looking at these things is really important. I know when I started teaching a long time ago, I graduated and Ohio was not the place for teaching. But North Carolina was in dire need of teachers. And so right out of my college, I went down to North Carolina and I taught for a while because they had a great need. And then Ohio came back after a few years and really needed teachers. So there's kind of waves with that. So it's important to know what is the job outlook for your field. And that's going to give you some state data, some similar occupations if you're kind of thinking about PTA, but like, oh, what's connected to it, as well as a link for more info. So this is a really great site. ONET Online is another one. This one has a lot of information, but I also feel like it's a little, I'm going to show you what I mean. It's not as user-friendly because I feel like it's really heavy with the text. So you can kind of see what I mean, the difference there. But it has a lot of great information. It's just not quite as, I think, clear-cut and easy to read as this site. So that's the purpose of saying, you know, over here, like, go and look to see what's out there. Know what you need to do, know your salary, know kind of what's expected in the field if you're not already declared. If you're declared, hopefully you already know this stuff, but it's not hurtful to look again. You know, I've had students in the past say like, oh, I want to be a nurse, you know, I want to get my LPN because I want to make $80,000 a year. And then they're really like shocked when they find out that you're not going to make that kind of money as an LPN. You've got quite a few more years and probably all the way up to your RN before you can even start seeing that kind of money into your career. Also, I've also had people say, I'm not trying to pick on the nursing field, but I had one student say, yeah, I'm going to be a nurse, but I don't like people. Well, in the nursing field, that is a caring profession. You need to interact with and care for people. So that's a case where you might want to, again, reevaluate your field. So again, this goes into detail about like how your personality can connect to different types of career fields, and how can you look at other factors that might impact the choice that you're making for your career. So again, this section and even this next section here, choosing your major, are for those of you who you have not chosen your major, or if you're trying to maybe you're thinking about changing your major. And I'm going to show you here in a little bit on the Stark State website where a lot of this job information, career information, major information can be found. Okay, so this goes again into making that major choice decision. The next section where it talks about getting the right stuff. Well, a lot of you are already here, obviously, because you're enrolled in a 2-year college. Those of you in CCP, you're getting a head start on being enrolled in this process. So you also need to know, like, after you leave here in your 2-year, do you have to go somewhere and get a 4-year? Do you need to do an internship experience? Do you need to do some kind of certification? Like, what do you need to be able to get into that field? And that's also where I feel like, you know, like the BLS, these pages can help out a little bit. So just knowing like what it's going to entail, you know, if you're in a field that's going to require one day a master's degree, what is that going to look like? How are you going to plan for that? So this section goes into a little bit more detail about that. I also like to point out this section on transferable skills, also sometimes called like soft skills, and just kind of take a look at this list. These are all the things that you need to know or be able to do no matter what field you're in. So if you are in occupational therapy, or you're in IT, or you're in, you know, a business management position, time management, or being able to listen actively. You know, these are things that are going to be helpful regardless. And so just kind of looking to see, is there anything on this list that you're like, you know what, I really need to improve here. I need to hone in on these things. And go about seeking experiences that'll help you improve in those areas. And this is going to give you some ideas and ways to kind of buff up your resume, which we'll talk about some of this in a little bit as well. All right, the next section talks about developing your career. So again, kind of looking and seeing what else do you need to do and what resources do you need to make those final kind of steps into your career before you graduate, and then even after you graduate even. And then finally, we start to kind of talk about if you're toward the end of your career path here. What are you going to do to kind of get yourself noticed? So this section talks about networking. If you've ever heard that phrase, it's not what you know, it's who you know, which is true to an extent. You know, you have to know what you're doing, but it's also helpful to have connections. And so, you know, joining clubs and organizations or attending networking events, things like that, where your name can kind of be out there and people can start to get to know you. It's going to help you down the road. So it's important to know your information, but knowing someone might get your foot in the door, right? So it's important to network. It's important to really kind of connect with people, and your advisor can be someone like that as well. So this section talks about networking and how to network and the importance of that. And then finally, again, toward the end of your time in a path, on your career path, you're going to have to get your resume and cover letters ready. Some of you may already have a resume. It just might need to be freshened up, or it might need to be tweaked based on what job you're applying for. Sometimes you have to change your resume kind of your verbiage a little bit based on what company you're applying or you just need to make sure you're continuously updating your resume. So this section talks about kind of the importance of doing that. We also have on our Stark State homepage, under Career Services, I'll show you because we're going to visit their site in a little bit. They do have a whole section on resume and job search assistance where it's going to talk to you about the different types of resumes and what to do whenever you need to come to a particular resume type and how to make it a little bit stronger. So lots of information on this. All right, going back, I lost my spot here. So this gives you some more information on resumes and cover letters, how to make sure it's professional, the finishing touches, and then interviewing. Not everyone loves this part, so there's different types of interviews. So if you're toward the end of your time, because I do have students every once in a while, they sneak this class in like the last semester or two of their college career here. Or if you're interviewing for part-time positions places or interviewing for internships, this section could help. So knowing the different types of interviews, how to prepare for one so that you're effective and you leave a good impression on them. Lots of tips there. Again, kind of scrolling through ways to make sure that you are going to have success. This might be the most helpful part, because I think a lot of this we already know, but we just need to remind ourselves of this. And then what to do after the interview. Also in our Career Services, we have a link for interview practice. And so we use something called Interview Stream. It's where you can record yourself answering kind of mock interview questions, and then you can watch yourself, which I know that might be cringy at first, but you can watch yourself back to see how you look when you interview. All right, so that's chapter 12, and that's all about kind of taking you through the entire career planning process from who am I to what's my major to how do I develop my career to the very kind of tail end resume and interviewing. So that is the information that goes with our chapter. Now we're going to go ahead and look at all these assignments we have to do. So again, this will be a good part if you're getting antsy a little bit, if you want to pause and come back to it, because now I'm going to talk about these assignments, and this is going to take another little chunk of time. All right, scrolling down to the assignment folder. You are going to take several assignments this week. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to click in here, and we're going to do that Exploring Educational Pathways to a Career. There are actually two parts to this. So I'm going to go back so you can see right here. You actually need to do this first part by Wednesday the 15th because it's going to help you post your original response in the discussion forum by Wednesday the 15th. So your week 3 attendance, your original response for week 3 attendance is due Wednesday, September 15th. And then you have to respond to 2 students by Sunday. But in order to post your response, you have to complete this first. So those 2 things are due by Wednesday. So I'm going to go in the assignment folder. I'm going to go to the Educational Pathways folder. Here's this assignment. Now, I apologize because there's going to be a lot of clicking around in these next few sections. So I do, again, apologize up front. There's just a lot of places to get this information, which is why, again, I encourage you to pause, come back to where needed, and whatever you need to help. So when you click on this, this is going to be exactly what it sounds like.
Picking a degree is so strong.
Exploring your pathways. So this is one of these like little slideshows. It's going to move through, and you can certainly click on things as the presentation tells you to, but I'm going to go through until I get to the one box and kind of tell you. So there's like videos embedded within this to walk you through and give you different things. There's a little video for that, but I'm going to get you right to the actual assignment. Here we go. So this is the assignment part, and there's actually going to be choice 1 and choice 2. So you're going to have to do this twice. So I always tell students it's totally up to you. Let's say I'm going to go back to my physical therapy example. Let's say choice 1 is physical therapy assistant because that's what I actually am going to do. For choice 2, let's say I'm going to look at occupational therapy assistant because I'm curious to see what the differences are or where they overlap. Or maybe I don't know what I want to do at all. So I'm going to look at 2 choices that I'm kind of thinking about. Maybe I'm thinking about education, but I'm also thinking about nursing. And so I'm going to look at those 2 for degree choices. Or I know what I'm doing. I'm going into IT, but choice 2 is going to be culinary because I think it's fun. However you decide, this is totally up to you. So you have 2 different boxes of things to fill out. The first one is finding your academic degree information. So I'm going to show you where to find this information right here. So we're going to go back to Stark State's homepage, and I'm going to go under academics, and you can see there's career communities here. So again, I'm going to stick with my physical therapy example, but you are going to go wherever your field would kind of be grouped in. Some of these are hopefully very obvious: business, education, math, health. So find out where yours would go. So I'm going to be physical therapy assistant for the purpose of this video. So I'm going to fall under health. Now, the nice thing is all of these pages are set up the same way. So even though I am working on physical therapy assistant and you might be looking at early childhood education, the pages are going to look very similar. You're going to get just a very general page that goes over like, hey, here is what this field means. Here's some contact information. If I scroll down, it has lots of like kind of links where I can request information, and it's going to give me some careers inside the health umbrella. So I'm going to keep going. Down at the bottom then are the specific majors. So every single page at the very bottom are the specific majors. So I'm going to click into my specific major, physical therapy assistant, and it's going to take me to a page that's just for my major. And here again, I have some program contacts. I have an overview of what this major is. What I'm going to do is click on courses, and I'm going to have a full-time and a part-time path. They have the same information, it's just organized in a little different way. So I'm going to click on the full-time path, and it's going to open up into a PDF. These are all the classes I have to take as a physical therapy assistant in order to get my degree. The second page just gives me a suggested order to take them. So this is going to give me all of my credits, all the names of the classes, except for some prerequisites. But here's where I'm going to get this information for the first slide. So this first slide says, I need to know my division of my choice. So when I look at this page right here, my division name is right here, Health and Public Services Division. You're always going to see your division right there. So it might say like Arts and Sciences, it might say Business, Engineering and Information Technology. So your division name is right there, and that's what I would type in right here, Health and Public Services. Okay, now my degree is right here, Associate of Applied Science. That's the name of my degree, Associate of Applied Science. The name of my major is Physical Therapy Assistant. Excuse me. So there's my degree, there's my major. My program requirements, however, I do not have to type out every single one of these. Please don't. What I would look at is, okay, I need 67 credits. I also need, let's see, a minimum of a C in all of my technical and non-technical courses. I also need to fill out an application. Those are my program requirements. That's all I have to put. I don't have to put, all these little, like, I have to do this and that, just your major program requirements. So how many credits, and then anything else down here is going to be kind of a program requirement. Okay, so now that's where you get your information for the top part. Remember, you're going to do that twice. So after you get this bottom part, you'll click, submit, and then you'll get choice 2, and you'll go to another degree and enter that similar information, but it's all going to come from this type of paper form, whatever. Okay. All right. Now I need to get the information from the bottom half. Okay. This bottom half information is going to come from Career Coach. So I'm going to show you where that is. So I can go back to my college page here. Doesn't matter. If you're on this page, the home page, you're just going to scroll down, and here's Career Coach right here. I'm going to come in here, and you're actually going to use this here in a little bit for the assessment, but for this purpose, I'm just going to have you go to search for careers and type in your name of your major or your career and find the one that fits the best. So right here. And here is like a nice little overview. This kind of reminds me of that BLS page because it's user friendly. It has a lot of good information, and you can feel free to like click around and learn about your field. It has live job postings. So this is where your next set of information is going to come from. I'm going to come back down here, and I'm going to put, it says job/career, well, physical therapy assistant. My average salary, okay, well, right here, right away, there's my median, my average salary, $58,815. Job postings, okay, well, I'm going to go here to live job postings, and I have a list of places. Now, I'm not going to, again, write down every single one of these. Maybe I'm going to pick the top 2 or 3 and just write those down. That's a really random one. Okay, sorry. So I'm going to type down the first 2 or 3 that are on that list under job postings. And then it wants qualifications. Well, I can click up here and I can look and see, you know, some daily tasks, my education, you know, the skills I need. So I don't have to write down every single one of these. Again, just kind of summarizing. I need to be able to, and then pick maybe just 1 or 2. I need to have my associate's degree. I need to be able to know how to provide physical therapy and communicate well. So again, just picking a few of those things. You're not writing down everything. And then you'll hit submit, and then you'll go to your choice 2. Okay, so that's career coach, and we're going to use that again here in just a little bit. All right, so you have now completed this assignment, exploring educational pathways to a career. You've done 2 career choices. You hit submit. They're both completed. Now you're going to go back to your assignments, and I'm going to give it a minute. I don't want to have to click out of here yet. Might have to. There we go. So I've completed this. Now I'm going to use what I did in there to answer these discussion posts. So here's what it's asking. It says, discuss your findings from the assignment, meaning this one up here. Which degrees, majors, did you choose? And what did you find interesting? And what surprised you? So, for instance, I would say I chose to explore physical therapy and occupational therapy. I found interesting that they have a lot of the same classes. It was surprising to see that occupational therapists make more money. I don't know. I don't know if that was true or not. But that's kind of what your posts will look like. What 2 did you look into? Kind of why? You know, why did you look into those? You know, this is my major and this is what I'm thinking of. What was interesting and what was surprising? And you can even tell me too. I looked at this. I was already really well researched, but here's what I found was interesting, or here's who I found was hiring. I might follow up. So just kind of tell me what you found. So you'll make that your original post, and then by Sunday, you'll respond to 2 classmates in this form as well. Remember to post, you just simply click on the thread, hit create thread. It'll repeat the prompt and type right in there. All right, so that is the first assignment. And it's a kind of 2 in 1, if you will. So that is your exploring educational pathways to a career assignment. And then the discussion forum based on that. Those are both due Wednesday, the 15th. Now, let's scroll down, and I'm going to talk about these 2 together because these 2 go together. The first thing you're going to do is you are going to find your map page. And this says that Firefox is the best browser for this. I will tell you that people think that, okay, well, I can still use Chrome, and sometimes Chrome won't work. So I really do encourage you to use Firefox if you can download it. If you have Chrome or Internet Explorer or whatever, Edge now, it's not going to work as well. It's just not. And it's going to be frustrating for you. It's going to be frustrating for me when I try to open it and I have to say, hey, I can't open this. If you don't want to download Firefox, instead of downloading it, the PDF, take a screenshot for me because that way at least I can open it. So here's what you're going to do. When you get into Firefox, I have it already up and running. You're going to get into My Stark State. This might time me out, but you're going to click on My Stuff and you're going to scroll down where it says Map. Here it is right here. When you click on Map, it's going to take you directly into your map. But because I'm not a student, I have to go through this process real quick. I'm going to bring up my brother's. He gave me permission years ago to use this. So here's what your map looks like. First thing I would do is just double check that everything's correct. You know, your name, your email address, make sure your degree and major are right, because if this is wrong, everything else on this page is wrong. So check your degree and major, check to make sure that everything else just looks okay. Here's your advisor. If you didn't know, your advisor is listed there so you can contact them. So this is your map page. It's an advising tool, and it's going to kind of show you your degree progress. It's going to show you the classes you have to take, as well as the classes that you have already finished and the classes that you're currently working on and you need to take in the future. Okay, so here's your map page. This is what you have to submit for that little map assignment. It's going to say save as a PDF. Okay, this is where if you are not going to use Firefox, don't even bother saving as a PDF because you're going to send it. I'm not going to be able to open it. Take a screenshot of this page. scroll down, take another screenshot. Send me your screenshots in the Dropbox, because if you try to do this in Chrome, or I will even say on Macs give us headaches. And by us, I mean like Blackboard for some reason. I don't know why they haven't figured out why Macs can't be compatible yet. But if you're working on a Mac, I will also tell you that this is frustrating for Mac users. Take screenshots. So I'm going to hopefully save you a little bit of a headache ahead of time by telling you those things. If you really are working in Firefox, you're going to click Save as PDF. And it's going to take a minute there. Okay. And I'm going to come over here and I'm going to save my page as. I'm going to save it to the desktop and just going to put a map. Oops, but I'm going to spell it right. And there it is. Hopefully it just saved right on my desktop. I'm going to come back into my regular Chrome page here. Click on Map Assignment. I'm going to browse my files. There it is. Hit Open and hit Submit. Okay, so that is how you save your map page, because you're going to use your map page in a few minutes to help you with this. That's also to make sure that you know how to access map, because map is an important advising tool at the college. All right, so again, if you're in Firefox, just do the Save as PDF and do what I just did. If you are in Chrome or Internet Edge or on a Mac, just take screenshots and upload the screenshots to me. It's going to save us all a little bit of trying to navigate and figure what's going on. Now, your program advisor information. This is a Word document. You're going to click on that and pull it up, open it up into a Word doc. And the information for this is going to be found in your map. So you already have your map. It's real easy to just kind of look at this. I'm going to pull up my map a little bit right here so I can kind of see. It wants to know what degree is listed in your profile. All right, here's my degree. Associate of Applied Business. That's what I'm going to type right here. What major? Business Management. I'm going to type that right there. What is your catalog year? This little sucker is so tiny. It's sometimes easy to miss right here. As I said, this is my brother's, so it's several years old. 2013, 2014. Most of yours are going to say 2020, 2021, or 2021, 2022. So whatever your catalog year is, that's what you'll type right there. And then what's your academic advisor? Who is your academic advisor? Right there. Your advisor and their emails right there. Once you've filled in the table, file, save it, click in, upload it. Okay? Those are both due on Sunday. Okay, so those kind of go together. All right. Here's where another part where you might want to pause, because this next section is its own little section as well. So, all right, the last set of assignments is your career services assignment. This is 30 points, everyone. It's 30 points. Please do not just skip this, because it is 30 points. It is, I think, the single largest assignment of your semester course for this course. Everything else is worth usually 10 or 20 points, and those all add up, obviously, but this is the biggest one assignment grouping of points. So please do this. There are 3 parts to it. Okay. Parts 1 and 2 are what you're going to submit, and then part 3 is a video. So when you get to this section, there's a set of instructions you can click right there, and it's going to show you like, hey, here is what you're going to complete. I'm going to walk you through this, but there's also a video that's going to talk to you about what you're doing. This is also part of the assignment, but I feel like kind of helping you through this is going to be overall helpful. Part 1, you are going to take the Career Coach Assessment. Career Coach, we were just in that not that long ago. Here it is, right here. So if you don't remember how to get here, I'll just kind of start fresh. I'm going to close some of these, I've got a lot going on up here. Sorry. All right. So here we are. Homepage, scroll down, Career Coach right there, just in case you forgot or you closed out from earlier. I'm going to suggest signing up for an account. You don't have to, but if you ever want to re-access your assessment results, or if you need to think about, like, hey, I have another class that this is required, you can just kind of pull this up. You can do this as a guest, but I just sign up if you would like. You're going to go to take the assessment. So you're going to click right here. Remember earlier we went to browse careers. Right now you're going to take the assessment. You are going to take the 60 question assessment. Okay, don't panic because it's really not as much as you think. For my video purpose, I'm only going to do the 6 questions because it's quicker, but I will be able to tell when you submit your assignments if you did the short or the long. You are doing 60. I'm going to do 6 real quick, and I'll show you why it's really fast because this is all you have to do. You read the scenario and then say, would you like to do these things? So you click through. All right, and then you get your results. So those are those personality results we talked about way at the beginning of the video. These are your top 3 traits. And then underneath there, your career matches. Not shockingly, from the short assessment, I get like education and training. Now, the reason I have you guys, or I should say the coordinator of the course has you guys take the 60 question is because it's a little bit more accurate. Obviously, if you can answer 6 versus 60 questions, the 60 questions is going to give some more detail. But it's going to have all of your results here, all the way down to like a very small match, 1%. So this is where I'm going to say, hey, like click around. And once you get in there, it'll tell you exactly like the type of matches within that field and then all the different types of careers inside that field. And then you can click and then it brings you to this page that we saw not that long ago. So I'm going to go back here again. And here is my results. I am going to save my results. And this is where you can email them to you if you signed up for an account, okay? If you didn't sign up for an account, just go ahead and download your results. Download them and you can save them on your desktop, okay, so that you have them there. That is part 1 of the Career Services assignment. That is one of the 2 PDFs you are going to upload. So see how there's a Dropbox here? There are 2 PDFs you are uploading. The first one is your career assessment results, okay? So you're going to save these, whether you email them to yourself because you have an account or you just wanted to save them on your desktop. You're going to upload them here in this Dropbox area, but do not submit it yet because you have 2 PDFs. So I would wait until you have both of them done to submit them. So that's part 1, is taking that career assessment and finding your results and then saving them. Part 2 and 3 kind of go together. Part 2 says, hey, go to this site right here, create an account. It's free. It says register now. Here's the access to get it for free. Here, I've already logged in over here. And you're just going to have this up and running in the background because part 3 says you are also going to watch the career services video. So you're going to have this Skills to Succeed part 2 running in the background. So that way, when you go to part 3 and watch this video, it'll tell you like, okay, now you need to go back to this website. So the video I'm referencing is right here. It's about 47 minutes. This is why this is a 30-point assignment, guys. It's about 47 minutes. I am going to know that you completed this video because at the very end, after you've watched this video to the very end with sound, it runs a report for me and it says, everyone who watched the video. And that's how you get your 3rd part of your points. So essentially, when you look at this, it's 30-point assignment, 10 points for your career coach assessment results, 10 points for your Skills to Succeed results, which we'll talk about in a minute, and 10 points for watching this video. Okay, not the video that I'm currently doing, the video this workshop video, this one right here. Okay, so you've already taken your career assessment, you're done. You've gone in, you've set up an account for Skills to Succeed. Now you're going to go in and you're going to start watching this video. As you're watching this video, it's going to tell you at certain points, okay, you know what? You're going to go ahead and pause and you're going to get into one of these 2 modules. Either Find Your Future. So this is for those of you who you have not picked a major yet. You're CCP, you're undecided, or maybe you're really early in your career options. You're going to click on that link. Option 2, you're already in your field and you need to kind of build to the next step, okay? So no matter which one you choose, it'll take you to, I'm just going to click on this one for now. It's going to take you into, here we go. My computer wants to, there we go. A little module where you're going to watch some videos. You're going to kind of click on some assessments, and then you eventually are going to finish that module. And by module, I mean either this module or this module, not all 6 modules. There's like 6 or 7 modules. Either option 1, Find Your Future, or option 2, Get Some Experience. Don't worry about anything else in there. Once you've finished one of those, you are going to go to the progress. And it's going to, obviously, I don't have any progress right here, but you are going to have progress in there. And you can either like email or download your certificate or email your progress, however you want to do that. I would recommend like downloading, and it's going to have you like fill this out because it should save as a PDF. And that's the second PDF you are going to submit in this Dropbox. Okay. So this Dropbox is for that career assessment. And then it's for your Progress in the Skills to Succeed Academy. Those two PDFs are going to go inside this Dropbox. That's the first two parts. The third part is, did you watch this video? That's how you get your third part. Okay. This section also talks to you about kind of like walking you through how to make sure you get that progress report to me. All right. That's the career services assignment, those 3 parts. So as a recap, I know this was a long time. Thank you guys for sticking with me. If you still are there, I never know. You are completing your Exploring Educational Pathways to Career assignment. Remember, this is where you're looking at 2 different options. You're using that assignment to fill out the discussion forum. Those are both due Wednesday the 15th. Your original response counts for your week 3 attendance. Make sure you go in there and respond to 2 students by Sunday. Then you are completing your MAP and program advisor information, as well as the 30-point assignment career services assignment. Okay. I know this is a lot. I will be messaging you as you complete it. That's what I tried to do during week 1 and 2 as a kind of a kind reminder. There are around 150 of you in here. So I try to update my grading 3 or 4 times a day to try to keep up with everything. But just know that sometimes things might like lag or get behind depending on the week. And you are always free to email me and just say, hey, did I complete everything? Am I good? I never mind that because I know students want to make sure that everything is done. So that's your list of assignments. Please reach out if you need anything. As I said, I know this is a long video. I know this is a lot going on this week. Have a great week 3.